barracks. Prisoners lay on wooden boards. They were fed only pork, bread, and beef, but the meat was often spoiled, causing severe food poisoning. One of the most famous inmates of Fort Mifflin's dungeons was William Howe, who was hanged for desertion in 1864. Legend has it that his ghost still appears in the casemates. Another spirit, the ghost of a soldier who died during the fort siege in 1777, is rumored to still guard the casemates. But perhaps the most famous story is that of the Screaming Lady. It is said that a woman named Elizabeth, who lost her son at the fort, still screams in the casemates. Staff and visitors claim they sometimes hear her voice and see her shadow in old-fashioned clothes. You can find out for yourself whether these ghosts really exist. Fort Mifflin is now open to tourists, though only its historic section. Officially, Fort Mifflin still serves as an active base for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, making it the oldest active military base in the U.S. and the only active base that existed before the Declaration of Independence. Fort Mifflin's dungeons are not the only ones surrounded by mystery, rumors, and superstition. There's another such place in underground Philadelphia at a depth of 4 to 5 meters, 13 to 16 feet. We're talking about the dungeons of the Masonic Temple in Philadelphia. Once, its South Tower was the highest point in Philadelphia. However, the public was more intrigued not by the highest point, but rather by the temple's dungeons. Rumor had it that the Masons conducted, or still conduct, secret rituals there of a somewhat unclear nature, which is a bit unsettling. But first, let's briefly discuss what this temple is actually about. This impressive historical building in Philadelphia was constructed between 1868 and 1873. It's located at 1 North Broad Street, right across from Philadelphia's City Hall. You might wonder, is this proximity coincidental or deliberate? The temple still serves as the headquarters of the Grand Lodge of Pennsylvania of free and accepted Masons. It also houses the Masonic Library and Museum of Pennsylvania. Thousands of visitors come annually to admire the richly decorated building, which includes 7 lodge rooms where various Philadelphia lodges and the Grand Lodge hold their meetings. Such openness seems at odds with the long-standing notion of the Masons as a secret society, allegedly controlling the world. Perhaps all of this is just for show, while the real action takes place in the temple's dungeons. Here's what the representatives of Masonic Temple themselves say and notably show about them. One Masonic myth says that underground tunnels link the Masonic Temple in Philadelphia and Philadelphia City Hall. NBC's short-lived spy drama, Allegiance, was one source of this myth. In reality, this is only half true. The Masonic Temple has tunnels, but they do not connect to any surrounding buildings. For the particularly suspicious conspiracy theorists, the executive director of the Masonic Library and Museum of Pennsylvania himself, Mike McKee, personally descended into the temple's basements to show what goes on down there. The basements are just like any other basements, cramped and far too small for any kind of meeting, and the setting is far from the Masonic aesthetic, to say the least. Although if you bang a hammer on the iron base of the staircase, the sound is really epic, and you can hear it all the way up in the hall. It almost makes the basement seem gigantic. Well, one must admit this tour will hardly convince everyone that there is nothing particularly secretive at the Philadelphia Masonic Temple, especially since McKee himself is a Mason, a member of Jerusalem Lodge number 506, Philadelphia. And sometimes it seems as if nature hints that there's more to this temple than meets the eye. But even if those mysterious tunnels under the Masonic Temple don't exist, or if they are simply not shown to us, we do know where you can find some tunnels. However, there's no hint of mystery there, and they weren't exactly built for people.
So, I've been saying that Philly's haunted, obviously, but under a spell. It is a created spell. That's why it's called brotherly love. They changed the words to opposite. and PA. Brother killed brother. Know what I'm saying? They manipulated to the fullest and took over as planned by the Queen.